Today I head to the Mesa Convention Center for the Phoenix Reptile Expo. I got there at 9:30 before it opened at 10. There was a long line, but once it opened, they had about 7 people taking money and checking people in, and the line quickly disappeared. I was fortunate to be able to get in a bit early, so let's take a look. There's Drew, one of the owners of the expo, and there's James, the other owner. They had Timberline there, and their owner didn't know what to think of me. But let's take a look around and see what's here and see what vendors. That looks like a Pac-Man frog. And here's some blue-tongued skinks. Here we are with Keith Clemmy. He's describing the benefits of the prickly pear cactus. He doesn't know that I'm here. It's also got a variety of tarantulas and snakes and tortoises out here.
Hey!
What do you have to say?
How you doing? Doing good.
He's saying hello to my brother.
Who are we talking to?
You're on video. You're talking to the world.
Oh, I'm famous.
And this is his son.
So what are these little guys?
3-toed box turtles.
3-toed.
Some Herman's tortoises.
Oh, wow.
Different aquatic things. Some albino red ears. But there's that cactus. Great diet for your tortoise. Something I always liked, the Australian water dragons. Here would be an adult. Look at those albinos. Look at these things. So cool.
I got spotted turtles, and here's some babies.
And what would this beautiful lizard be?
This is your banana spiny tail iguana, your Tenosaur pectinata.
That's exactly it. Beautiful lizard. It can be yours if you come here today.
Not hatching, I mean.
Keith had so many different species of animals and so many cool things, it was hard to get on to the next vendor. Of course, if you follow me at all, you know that I love iguanas. Love the banana pectinata, and have a soft spot for Australian water dragons. Just not a lot of people breeding them anymore now that Bert Langerworth is gone. Let's take a look at some different ball pythons, boas, and other snakes at the next table. I tell you, whatever color morph you're looking for, chances are you'll find it. I just always loved the pieds. You got a number of different types of vendors. Predator. This would be Predator's table. And they got snakes all over here. Some bearded dragons, leopard tortoises, African spurs, Amazon puffing snake, never even heard of it. Look at these things. Some Uromastics. Redfoot tortoises, blue tegu, giant millipedes, all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, and look at this, the Vietnamese mossy frogs. They don't look real. Oh, and some little caiman lizards. Beautiful things. Red-eyed crocodile skinks, $2.50. Some larger leopard tortoises, beautiful, beautiful. And then smaller ones, every snake you can want. And then some.
For sure. Have a good day, everybody.
I should mention that Predators also has a fossil shop. So come see that too. But if you need caging, there's places for that. Whatever you need, you can find it.
That's why they'd be called a ball python, like to roll up in balls.
At the Reptile Expo. So come check it out. Can I ask you about ant colonies?
You can. Absolutely.
Why do we have ant colonies?
Because they are fascinating to watch.
So they're not to like feed horned lizards or anything? These are just
You get that a lot.
projects.
Yeah. Just projects, yes.
Well, that's very cool. Something I didn't expect to see here. These containers are all connected in different parts of the ant colony. In my day, we used to have the vertical ant colonies. But, like everything else, things advance. This is very cool. Yeah, dude, text me. Amphibian. Look a lot like a water dog, but they are not. Those are albino.
So crazy. And they just stay in this form forever.
Stay in this form their whole life. This shows a picture of the normals and the albinos. Let's move on and see what other things we've got. Oh, the gargoyle gecko. These are spectacular looking. Look at those red,
Some spectacular bearded dragons.
all different color phases.
Love the reds.
Big change for the original bearded dragons.
And then more ball pythons and boas.
More snakes.
So stinking cute, dude.
Trying to find a way out. These are just temporary enclosures for the display for the show.
There's Phil Goss talking to James Badman. If you're not familiar with US Ark, you need to be.
And what kind of lizard is this?
This is a gargoyle gecko,
A gargoyle gecko.
Brachydactylus auriculatus,
Would that be native to Madagascar?
New Caledonia.
New Caledonia, that's what I meant.
Yeah, just my way to find out if the vendors know what they're talking about. And surprisingly, they do. Because when you're at the Reptile Expo, most of these are the people that bred the animal that you're looking at. And they've studied their history. They know their care requirements. And you can ask them questions and find out the best way to care for whatever animal it is that you're working with or that you want. How do you get your little corn snake to first take pinkies? How often should you feed your boa constrictor? Can you keep bearded dragons with each other, or will they nip off tails or toes? All sorts of things that you may not even be aware of. The vendors there at the expo can tell you because they've experienced it and lived through it, and they've got animals that are thriving. It's always best, of course, if you research whatever animal you're interested in getting.
Okay, and what do we have here?
For
We've got a cresty.
A crested
Beautiful
gecko. Native to New Caledonia?
Yep. And actually, prior to '94, they thought that these were all extinct, and all of a sudden, one day they started finding them again.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Shows you what captive breeding has done. Now they're a popular pet lizard from the brink of extinction.
the pet industry gets blamed for a lot of reptile extinctions, or should we say removal from the wild. But the crested gecko, as I've said in previous videos, was just a great example of a reptile that was once thought to be extinct and now is just common due to captive breeding. And when you walk around the Reptile Expo, you'll see that all these animals here are captive bred.
Okay,
Hey!
who are you?
I am Frank Cozzolina with Geeky Gecko Creations.
I'm Peggy, Frankie's mother.
She made me.
All right,
I'm Brooke. I'm the
With my
intern.
dad.
all right.
I'm just a dad.
And who started all this? You?
You know, they're not into reptiles.
You're not into
But
reptiles?
she's from the Philippines.
Oh,
and they have
gee.
a lot of reptiles. So
Did
maybe.
you help him sneak reptiles into your house?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Well, look at these spectacular leopard geckos they've got. All different color phases and morphs.
Yeah,
I
they're
remember when a
beautiful.
leopard gecko
Now I can appreciate
used to
them.
look like a leopard gecko, and
Just yellow and black.
these are nothing that you would see in the wild anymore.
But we're proud of it.
Oh, wow.
They are spectacular. Don't think this video is doing justice.
These black ones are a little bit outside my price range, and I've always been partial to these tangerines, that kind of orange phase one. But I remember when the first albinos came into the pet industry, Picture and Reptiles magazine, and it was just spectacular. And now to see where the industry's gone, it's amazing. But let's move on and see some other tables. What do they have? An ivory millipede, side neck turtles. Let's see what's here. Oh, it looks like it must be Russ Gurley's table.
So what have we got going here? What are these things behind you?
That is Russ Gurley's artwork.
Russ Gurley? Oh, I can't put this in it.
Later in the video, we'll actually find the man, the myth, the legend, Russ Gurley.
Any of your reptile supplies covered by Triple L, who has quite a bit of space. A giant green anaconda. What I'm guessing. Redline shipping. Never heard of you before. That you ship reptiles, huh? Perfect.
There's so many companies I've never heard of or familiar with, because I'm kind of out of the loop.
Okay, this is Cameron Lamb Exotics. And who would Cameron Lamb be?
It's me.
You?
How's it going, Jay?
Good, and these must be his exotic reptiles. Got some little rhino iguanas there, crested geckos, hingeback, redfoots. Look at these things, yellowfoots,
Herman's tortoises,
star tortoises, leopard tortoises.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Those would be what we generally call Babcocki. Those would be Pardellis if those were still valid, but now they're all technically Babcocki. But there's some nice little Russian tortoises. Lots of lizards and snakes. Interesting color phase.
I may not know Cameron real well, but I've seen several examples that show me that he not only cares about people, but the animals that he works with.
Okay.
I've done so
All sorts of books.
Ones and twos. Yeah. We don't have any five.
And there's Russ Gurley, the guy who actually created those skulls over there that I showed you. Who knew he had such talent?
Russ has written a number of books and published others as well, including several of the books that I wrote: leopard tortoises, star tortoises, iguanas. But let's move on to some more vendors. Check out these frogs. Sometimes it's difficult to see some of the animals in their little enclosures for whatever reasons. But if you talk to the vendor, typically they'll take them out or remove the case so you can inspect whatever animal you're purchasing. Make sure you're getting a good specimen. Those look like white tree frogs, and I think we saw some Pac-Man frogs, different color morphs before that.
And here's the Arizona tortoise compound. Nice albino African spurred tortoise. Look like some little rhino iguanas. A little bit of everything. And there's the owner. Or is Andy the owner?
He's back there. Yes, I did.
He's back there.
That was just me trying to create some strife between husband and wife. Andrew and Julian are co-owners of the Arizona Tortoise Compound. Check out that bearded dragon.
At the Arizona Tortoise Compound, checking out the Aldabras and the leopards and the box turtles and the rhino iguanas. And then over here, Russian tortoises, albino sulcatas, look like elongated tortoises, redfoot tortoises, Herman's tortoises. It's got it all here. Greek tortoises. Those look like maybe marginateds there.
Correct.
And a star tortoise. That's Andy. He's got it all.
How's it going, guys?
I'm of course partial to lizards and tortoises, but I guess I need to show the snake vendors as well.
He's truly one of the better looking ones truly I've ever seen. I don't just say that, but
Yeah.
he decided to kill his mate last year during breeding season, so I was like, well, you gotta go, fella.
Spectacular snakes.
Yeah, I remember when gray-banded king snakes were almost unheard of. And now, it's just spectacular to see where they've come.
They're all spectacular.
Gotta say, I do like them. It's just interesting to see what's happened with selective breeding of lizards, snakes, and for that matter, even turtles and tortoises. See color morphs and varieties that you never would have seen in the wild. And here, I guess we should mention that there are also plant vendors. Sometimes you got to take care of those terrariums, whether you've got poison dart frogs, a humid environment, or whatever you've got. Plants always play a part. But another vendor with these guys. So I'll take another picture because I think they're cool.
Hey, tell me, what kind of chameleon is this?
This is an Austerlet.
It's huge.
He's actually going to get almost double this weight.
And that would be native to Madagascar.
Correct.
Very cool.
What is it? Ocelots?
Ocelots, yeah.
Ocelots.
Okay, you got to push the black thing or the red thing.
I did. You're live.
Look, don't fall off. Wow. They got a prehensile tail. There he goes.
Holy cow, bro.
Isn't that cool? Give him the thumbs up. Let's
We have a breeding pair of African egg eaters.
Oh wow. Is that a goof? So this is a rat snake hybrid. So we're thinking either corn snake or a gopher snake, pine snake, bull snake. But his name is Arnold Schwarzenegger because he's so big. He's got a lazy eye. This eye right over here.
My brother Richard took the video of me with the Ocelot's chameleon, and I'm so used to Kelly taking videos that I had to give him instructions that to start it, you gotta push the button. But Richard, I guess, is a little more advanced than Kelly and knows how a cell phone works. Looks like the expo is open and everyone is in now. The aisles will just continue to get more and more crowded. But in spite of the crowds, there's still plenty to see, such as this beautiful bearded dragon.
Lizard chilling out.
I was hoping that was a woman had that on her shoulders. I was saying, it's not your neck I'm chewing on.
Here's the owner of Santan Reptiles. Got vendors with wood for your enclosures. Of course, different art pieces. And one of the things I love to see, a lot of the vendors have their kids. Neat to see them explaining the cockroach. Just fun family affair. And here's Rattlesnake Solutions. And while you can't vend venomous reptiles, they do have them there on display if you need a rattlesnake relocated from your yard.
And then these guys are grassland. Right.
And this right here is our state reptile.
Yep, exactly.
Arizona ridge-nosed rattlesnake.
Pretty cool.
My friend,
His cousin here, the twin spot.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot
The
of good
ones
stuff.
she
down
could
there.
find.
Yeah.
And of course, the banded rock rattlesnake. These three species, ridge-nosed, twin spot, and banded rock, are all found down in southern Arizona, near where my brother lives. As kids, we used to go down to those mountains, the Huachucas, Chiricahuas, and hike them. Look for those rattlesnakes and yarrow spinies and just anything we could find. It's always a great adventure. But now I'm just hiking through Reptile Expos. That's me, that old bald guy. I'd like to say I'm flying a drone over the expo to see what's there, but this is actually just my 360 camera. I thought people might enjoy seeing a little different perspective of the Phoenix Reptile Expo. So follow me as I go through the crowds and check out some of the tables and maybe some vendors that we haven't already seen. There's always more to see. Every time you walk through, you see something you hadn't seen before. There's my brother. Haven't seen him for a while, but finally caught up with him. The Reptile Expo is open from 10 to 5 p.m. on Saturday, and I believe it's 10 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. And all through the day, you got people coming and going. And due to the number of people they have checking people in, there was not even a line when I went out. But the place is crowded and vendors are doing well.
And who do we have here?
Just Jason.
Jason
And my tortoise caretaker.
The mother of tortoises.
Yes. What's going on? Nice.
Since people come and go, you never know who you'll run into, and the longer you're there, the more people you run into. It's good to see Jason and his wife, great reptile breeders in their own right. So, even if you don't find the reptile you're looking for at the expo, you might run into someone who's there to see the expo that might have the animal you want. Or as you talk to people, you find out who's breeding what and where you might be able to get it. Just a great networking opportunity and just a lot of fun. And even if you're not looking to buy, just to come and see the reptiles, amphibians, plants, and everything that's there is always a great experience. And of course I go just to talk to people as well, see old friends and people you haven't seen for a while. Looks like I'm saying hello to James Badman, owner of Wildside Pets, and of course, one of the managers of the Expo. Yeah, the Expo's very well run. Lots of parking, get the people in and out without waiting in lines, wide aisle spaces, plenty of space for the vendors behind in their booths, and this red line shipping, just a fantastic idea. If you're visiting from another state, you can buy something and have them ship it home for you. So you don't have to deal with, who do I find to ship me this reptile? Or do I have to take it on the plane with me? Or even if you're driving, do I have to drive for hours with this snake or lizard or tortoise or whatever I purchased in the car? I'm worried, will I be able to keep it alive? So just ship it home. Be there when you get there. Fantastic idea. I also should mention USARC, United States Reptile Keeping Association. They're the group that lobbies for us and helps protect our rights so that we can maintain these reptiles that we love. And you should stop by and talk to Phil Goss or someone at their table. You may be unaware of all the threats that come to the industry and our ability to keep and maintain any species of reptile. Thanks to their efforts, a lot of the legislation has been defeated so that we still are able to maintain these animals we love. But the threat continues. Here's part of Christian's fossil show. Just cool to see. But, stop by USARC, give them a donation, and there's an auction on Saturday night that benefits USARC. So you can donate to them directly in cash, or you can donate a reptile, a book, or anything of value that can be auctioned off. And come to the auction. Support our industry. If you've done your research before you come to the Reptile Expo, and if you know what you want to get, you can get all the supplies here. So, if you think you want to get, let's say, some sort of aquatic turtle, what do you need? You need a pond to keep it in. Perhaps a waterland tub is what you need.
To Waterland Tubs. What do you have to say for yourself?
Not much.
You selling lots of tubs?
Trying, working on it.
Yeah, he sells lots of tubs. They're everywhere. You see Waterland Tubs.
I'm here to help.
He's here to help.
Pete's Waterland tubs are used by zoological facilities and private hobbyists around the country. Great way, lots of different choices of tubs and ways to set up both turtles and tortoises. But talk to him, he'll help you out.
Say something.
Hi, Jerry. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
It's good to see you. It's always good to see you and your younger brother.
The old geezer Richard, he means.
And that was Fred, PhD from Chapman University, who was here to talk at the Turtle Tortoise Preservation Group Conference, which was held Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, right before the Expo. And his talk this year He talked a little bit about the greatest tortoise story ever told. And that was of Diego, a Galapagos tortoise that helped repopulate his species. And if you're not familiar with the story, you need to learn about it, because it just shows how critical and important captive breeding is. And one of the cool things is that Diego and I think it was 13 original females have been returned to their island to live out their life in the wild after 40 years of being in captivity. Since I'm getting ready to exit the expo, I figured it's good to make a trip over to Timberline. Great supplier of insects of all types, feeders for your reptiles. And they're giving away mealworms, and it's a great source of food for some of my lizards. Just shows some of their support for the reptile industry. A lot of the companies that you'll see at the expo are great supporters of the industry. ZooMed is a major sponsor of the Reptile Expo. Timberline, I mean, just great people that work at the facilities and really do everything they can to support our industry.
Say something, Keith.
Something.
Maybe his son had something more intelligent to say.
More intelligent to say.
I worry about you.
It's always fun to put people on the spot, see what they have to say. But the real fun is spending a little more time actually talking reptiles and seeing what people are up to, what's happening in their lives, and what new projects they've got going. Like I said, I think the coolest thing is just the networking and the people you meet. Well, I don't know. Seeing the animals is pretty cool too. Looks like I've made it back around to Predators and some of the other vendors at this side. Whatever you're looking for, from artwork, cages, supplies, reptiles, information, shipping, it's all there to be found. Hopefully you've got a good idea about what the expo's about, and hope you enjoyed the video and have a great day, and we'll talk to you again later.